And this is our slide deck presentation of 1.6 from HRS Level 1 certification process from Teresa Bunker Elementary from our HRS leadership team.
Okay, and then this is our data from 1.6. So students, parents, and the community have formal ways to provide input regarding the optimal functioning of the school. Our original survey results, which took place in the year 21-22, was a 1.2. And if we click this, it will kind of open up the different areas that students and parents were surveyed. And then our follow-up survey actually asks a different question, so the data isn't completely comparable because our follow-up student survey results ask students if they felt like the playground was safe and orderly, and that scored at a 3.8. So because of our data, our leadership team declares 1.6 as an area of weakness. We have procedures to follow and opportunities for students, parents, and the community to have formal ways to provide input regarding the optimal functioning of the school. So as a leadership team, we have decided to improve upon 1.6. An action plan is being implemented in order to allow for more opportunities for students, parents, and the community involvement and increased transparency in the decision-making process. Our lagging indicators are current things that were in place in order to meet that expectation of 1.6, and these were in place at the time of the survey. We had a school website up and running for parent feedback, and parents can see what is going on within our school. We had a student council set up, so that was ways for students to provide formal input and kind of make changes within our school. And we had our student engagement survey, which is brought out by the district once a year, and when we also had our PTO in place. So the following slides are the evidence to back up that those things were in place at the time of the survey.
On the next slide, we have the Bunker website. There's a link to the website you can click on, and that just is a way to keep parents and the community informed of things that are happening at our school and events.
And we just have a contact at the district office, and so through the office, if we have items or informational pieces or even feedback kinds of things that we want parents to participate in, we just contact our contact at the district office, and she helps us to upload those onto our website so that all the websites throughout the district are fairly similar.
And this next slide is our student council, which is led by our 5th grade teacher, and they kind of meet on a regular basis, and the students are able to provide input. They are responsible for kind of organizing different events throughout our school, such as fundraisers. This year we did our penny wars, we had canned food drives happen, and then this is just kind of an email that goes out from our 5th grade teacher who is in charge of that to kind of let all the staff know, hey, this is the fundraiser that's taking place, and this is the different protocols that we're going to follow for it.
And those students that are serving on the student council were voted in by their classmates. And then they also come back after they meet weekly and share out with their classes what is happening and what's to be expected in upcoming events.
And then this is just a slide of the student engagement survey. So students having that input to that formal input way. These are the guidance to administer it and then the script that teachers have to follow.
And we will get those results back, the student survey, student engagement survey at the district level for principals. And then once we get that, we'll share that out with staff and kind of look at our data and see where we need to improve there as well. Same thing with the staff engagement survey and parents. Once we get all those in at the district level, we'll be analyzing that data and then responding as a leadership team.
The next slide is for the Bunker PTO. So there's a copy of their agenda with a link to it. And then they are responsible for like events for the school. There's a fall carnival they put on that was great. It was a fundraiser. They've done Barnes & Noble fundraisers, McDonald's one, just ways to raise funds for the school.
And with our PTO, we meet about once a month with our PTO, and we have a teacher representative that is kind of in charge of the liaison and does all of our PTO through the school as well. And then we sent out a message through text messenger and Blackboard, which is an email system for the parents to just try to start to elicit more interest of PTO. At back to school night at the beginning of the year, we had a sign up sheet from the PTO just to elicit more involvement from parents and more participation.
Okay, and then because we decided to improve upon 1.6, an action plan is being implemented so that there's more opportunities for students, parents, and the community to have formal ways to provide input. So we have as part of our action plan, we have our student safety survey, our parent communication surveys, and our student problem solving survey.
And here we see the overall result of all that surveying, where this indicator 1.6 came up to a 3.8. The next several slides will show examples of the surveys used to gain that student, parent, and community input through those formal ways, being the surveys themselves. So the first slide example is of the parent survey. We were surveying to find out how they prefer to give and receive information, whether it be through text messaging, email, website, perhaps social media. So this is a recent survey. We had good participation, and we'll be taking that into advisement as we move forward with how we communicate and get communications from parents. Next slide's another example of a parent survey. Or I guess that's
This
the
is the
results.
data.
That's the results. That's the data of that
Yes.
first one. So this is new. We'll be taking this into advisement and moving forward, influenced heavily by that data right there. The next one is a student survey.
Well, and this one was actually kind of conducted with our
Yeah.
school counselor in working with our student council and our fifth graders and some of the improvements that they want to see in the school, and kind of modeling for our student council how to elicit change and what that process looks like. So our counselor has worked with our student council fifth graders, and they kind of delineate here the problem that they see is that students don't like having to sit with only others in their class. So that as at lunch, we do have tables assigned per class, and so each teacher has a table assigned where her class would sit or his class would sit for lunch. The fifth graders would like to change that, and so they did a presentation for the principal 2 weeks ago, I think maybe, and I just gave a little bit of feedback from their presentation. They had a slideshow and kind of gave me the pros and cons and the reasons why they'd like to switch, and then I asked them to go back for just a little bit more information and then to come back and re-present to me so that we can do it. But we're really leading our students through that process of how to elicit change in their school for the positive, and so that's been a really, really positive and productive thing that we're working with our kids.
I think that collectively these examples right here of surveys, collectively, that's the punch. It's like, that's the avenue or the means for students, parents, and community to provide input for problem solving, or not just problem solving, but just to communicate better with the schools, so that while it seems simplistic on the surface, it's like, oh, we're going to survey this, survey that. And in the past, as indicated by our teacher group, they grew tired of surveys, but with these, they're also purposeful. They see that they're connected to something going on in the school, they're timely, they're relevant, and I think that is what has improved our standing on this indicator.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.